Hey guys, I made this video because I know we're going to go over this stuff in class, but I know that a lot of it you have to do on your own, and so I thought I would make this kind of tutorial to show you how you might use our Outsiders packet and book kind of when you're on your own. So here's basically, I've got our book here. As you can see, it's the same copy you guys have, and so when I talk about certain pages, you know you can go to the same ones because we have the same version or the same printing. The other thing that I have here is our actual Outsiders packet, and as you can see, it's the same one you guys have as well. So I'll use this as kind of a guide for you to use if you're working on something at home or over the weekend and you can't remember what the instructions were for a certain part of the packet. You can always come back to this video and check it out. So I think the first thing we want to do is make sure you have your name on your packet, always, always, always. We'll do the anticipation guide together, and a lot of this pre-reading notes and talking about cliques at our school and things. This will all be done together. The first thing that you'll really ever have to do on your own is the vocabulary pre-reading worksheets, and what you'll notice is that there's one for every two chapters. So for chapters 1 and 2, you'll need to finish this one worksheet before you read the chapters, and the words come up in the chapter itself. So if you've done this worksheet and you come across a word you're unfamiliar with, this will be a great way to kind of learn that before you go ahead and read, and that should help you just breeze through the chapter even faster than you would have. So make sure you're always doing these. Depending on which chapter is assigned that day, do the pre-reading vocab worksheet. The next thing is the vocabulary list, and remember, this is our bonus vocab material. So as you're reading, you're going to see all of these words coming, on this side, all of these words come in this order. That's the best part. It's in this order for you. So, for example, the first one says asset, and you're going to, as you're reading along through chapter 1, it goes in order. You can certainly try to find the word asset, and if you look on page 3, that's where it really starts up here, right there, an asset to society, the next. So then you would just write page 3 on this column here, and then you're going to want to go back and write the definition for asset and what that means, or use it in an example. The next one then is souped up, and you know that souped up comes after asset in the book because it's in order on this page. So every single word here for chapter 1 will be in order. There's about 1 or 2 per page, so that should be an easy way to get some extra points and a great way to review a lot of those words that we just don't use very often. The next thing, and it's called essential questions for a reason. You really need to get these done before class. If you try to come to class that day after it's due and fill them in quickly during our discussion, I think you're going to have a little bit of trouble getting the right information and getting all the information. I think really the best way to do this is fill them in as you read, or read through the chapter and then go answer them. And if you have a question still, you can bring that to class. If there's 1 or 2 that you want to ask in class and fill out at that point, I think that's okay. But waiting to do all 7, 8, 9, 10 of them in class is really going to be a hassle for you and for me. So make sure you're doing these essential questions, and again, they go by chapter. There's about 7 to 10 for each one, and you know which pages are due because you know which chapters are due that night. So you can get through those. The next thing here is our study guide questions, and you'll notice that this doesn't really have very much room for you to answer on the page, and that's because you're not supposed to answer on the page. What you need to do is read through these questions before you read the chapter, then read your pages and come back to these study guide questions and say, which ones can I answer? Maybe check them off as you go. Yes, I know number 1, number 2, ooh, number 3 is kind of tricky. Let me go back and double check. And that's a really great way. When we come to our quizzes every other chapter, these will become really, really handy. So make sure you know that you can answer them every time. So So those are pretty short. And then here's one last thing just to make sure everybody's reading, everyone's understanding. We've got our chapter summaries and reactions. So in the left hand, you will write 3 to 5 sentences just summarizing the chapter itself. And then on the right hand, your reaction. I want to know your opinion. What do you think of the characters? What do you think of their choices or the things that happen to them? Do you like the book? Do you not like the book? What are you enjoying? What do you guess is going to happen next? Anything that comes to mind, you can certainly share that in your summary. So that's basically the main part of this packet. Anything in the back after the summaries we're going to do together anyway. It's just all in this handy dandy little notebook here for you so that everyone has the same thing. But hopefully this video was helpful for you. If you still have questions, you know, you can always email or check the Twitter account. But for the most part, I think that we're going to get through this book pretty quickly, and you're going to have to do a lot of that work on your own time. So maybe you just check back with this video anytime you're not sure, and we'll see you in class.